At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Slade's the place for you!
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Live from the Harlan and Hazel Rogers Softball Park in Fort Dodge, the Class 5A state semifinal gets us underway today on a Wednesday at the 2024 state softball tournament. It is the number 1 overall seed, the West Des Moines Valley Tigers, at 37-4, getting set to take on the 5-seeded Hawkettes from Ankeny with a record of 22-20. I'm Daniel Versteg, joined by Allie Kappert for the broadcast here today on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. West Des Moines Valley, they were able to beat a pretty solid Cedar Rapids Prairie team 11-1 in the quarterfinal round. Boy, a big day for Mackenzie Moeller. Showed the power with 8 total bases and 4 at-bats, 4 RBIs. This is a Valley team that's just kind of a snapshot of the power they can bring.
Yeah, truly. And, Valley kind of came out slow that quarterfinal game against Prairie, but when the bats got hot, it was game over. Right. As you see the 11-1 ball game there, this team can put up runs. There's no doubt about that. Between Marin Heller, Claire Long, Mackenzie Muller, the lineup top to bottom is a very, very strong lineup, one unlike we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a weak point 1 through 9 in that lineup. Meanwhile, Ankeny, with that record of 22-20, they had to squeak by a good Waukee Northwest squad. We've seen Northwest in the state championship game a couple of years now, and a 2-0 victory for the Hawkettes. Boy, what more can you say about Abby Rusher? She doesn't overpower people, but the stats speak for themselves, only allowing 2 hits.
Abby Rusher, that entire game was inducing a ton of ground balls, ton of pop-ups from the Northwest offense. She was on her game, letting her defense work, and the defense was unstoppable. And also, it was Abby Rusher at the plate as well, the big double off the fence into left center field. So, huge game out of her. Ankeny is hoping for the same thing today.
There's a reason why she is going to play Division I softball at Creighton University in Omaha in the future. The Ankeny Hawkettes and the West Des Moines Valley Tigers looking forward to a great matchup here today in Fort Dodge. We'll take our first break, come back, and we'll continue to preview the contest after this. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, Executive Director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'd like to thank you for joining us for the Girls State Softball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing state tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among our nation's best and brightest. And Iowa's farmers are among the nation's most productive. Our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to recognize both, all while supporting and lifting up the Iowa girl.
With the help of the Iowa Farm Bureau, we celebrate students' efforts not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. The Iowa Farm Bureau is committed to your success and supports our organization and the Iowa Girl. Through millions of dollars they provide in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence.
As Iowans, we have a lot to be proud of. Whether you're a student competing here today or a fan tuning in, we all play an important role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations to your school on a terrific season, and good luck in the tournament games.
We are back to Channel Seeds Field here in Fort Dodge for a Class 5A state semifinal as West Des Moines Valley gets set to take on the Ankeny Hawkettes. Once again, Daniel Versteg joined by Allie Kappert, an outstanding softball player in her own right, and joining us for the broadcast today, Ankeny and Valley. We talked about this season's teams, Allie, but I don't know if you've got a more historical softball matchup than this one. Ankeny's won 13 state championships. Valley's won 7. I mean, this is a really historic kind of blue blood softball matchup.
Yeah, both teams out of Central Iowa, just truly, as you mentioned, just a blue blood matchup. Ankeny has been here, it feels, year after year after year. Obviously a dynasty team. about 20 years ago, and then but truly been really good as of late. And then Valley, just a team, they're going to be good.
Right.
Every single year, Valley High School is going to be good at softball. It's just a matter of who's going to come to shine come postseason. So just a really historic matchup here. Should be a fun one today. Valley, a team that puts up a ton of runs, but as we mentioned, Abby Rusher in the circle for Ankeny. Northwest, typically a team that could put up a lot of runs too, and she shut them out on Monday.
Right, only 2 hits allowed too. So, and I think a lot of people, Allie, would look at as we see West Des Moines Valley right now. They come in at 37-4. Ankeny comes in at 22-20, and people are going to say, "Well, this is Valley's ball game to lose." But you look at who Ankeny plays, and Coach Bingham did not pull any punches with their schedule. They played Bondurant, Farrar, Carlisle, Wahlert Catholic. They got North Polk. I mean, they play all the CIML teams, obviously. Williamsburg, Fort Dodge, Winterset. You name it. There are so many ranked teams in this Ankeny schedule.
Yeah, even the smaller schools that they play, they're going to play against teams that are also going to be at the state tournament.
Yep.
And regardless of class size, you mentioned some of these teams, just the pitching that they're going to see against the smaller schools here in the state of Iowa, it's great competition from game 1 to now the state tournament.
There you see Tom Bakey, the head coach of the Valley Tigers. And, you can't talk about softball history without talking about Coach Bakey, of course, as well. Won his 1,000th career softball game earlier this season. He became the 19th coach in the history of Iowa high school softball to win 1,000 games, leading the Valley Tigers for the 28th year in a row. But also Dave Bingham. He's been around the block 12 years now. You got a historic matchup with 2 coaches who have been around the block for a number of years, and this is going to be one fun kind of chess match of who's going to make the right moves at the right time as well.
2 coaches that are very, very familiar with each other. As you mentioned, Coach Bakey, his overall record, it's insane. I mean, you have 1,009 wins, only 244 losses.
Right.
He knows how to win, and then Coach Bingham with Ankeny, he's been here before. It's one of those things where, as you mentioned, they're going to play the tough schedule, and that's the approach he's always taken. If we're going to play the tough schedule during the regular season and be ready when the postseason comes.
Yeah, and Ankeny, you mentioned the history behind it. They haven't won a state championship since 2012, but they do have a number of championships back to the 90s, 80s, and even the 70s as well. I'm sure Coach Bingham's just happy that, this program is starting to get back to where it was, maybe 30, 40 years ago with similar success and a chance to finish in the top 4, obviously, now.
Yeah, and I was on that team when we won it in 2012. So he was the assistant coach then under head coach Amy Farmer. So a team just really, really strong. And, I mean, this team so far given up no runs. That team gave up no runs at the state tournament. So he knows what he's doing when it comes postseason, and it's been fun to watch over these last few years. It's hard to build a dynasty in these days with the talent across the state. So simply making it to the state tournament back-to-back years for both these teams is a huge feat.
And especially in 5A, too. There are less schools in 5A, obviously, as being the bigger class, but it is a much tighter-knit bunch. I mean, you got competition all the way up and down the bracket. There's no better indication of that with Ankeny moving all the way up to a 5 seed with how competitive it was. Ankeny Centennial did not make it to state. Southeast Polk didn't make it to state. Johnston didn't make it to state. All these teams that were here the last couple of years didn't make it, just showing how tough and brutal it is to play 5A softball in Iowa.
You look at Ankeny had an 8-8 record in conference. You look at Urbandale had a 4-12 record in the CIML. That just goes to show how tough of a conference that is.
Yeah, you play each other twice. You get 16 incredibly difficult games, and Urbandale with a very low finish in the CIML, but they are guaranteed a semifinal appearance. They are going to play Pleasant Valley on this diamond later today. They've kind of staggered the starts. We got a 5A game here, and then a 4A game over there, and then we'll flip-flop obviously back here once again as well. It's a full day of semifinal softball here at the Girls State Softball Tournament. It's going to be a really good day. We've had a ton of upsets We're going to have 2 6-seed versus 7-seed matchups here at the state softball tournament today, and, of course, the top seeds moving on and stuff like that as well. So it'll be a great day for softball. It's going to start with West Des Moines Valley and the Ankeny Hawkettes, and there you see the two coaches. Again, Dave Bingham on the left. He is the head coach of the Ankeny Hawkettes in his 12th year, nearing 300 wins as the head coach of the Hawkettes softball program. And we talked about Tom Bakey, West Des Moines Valley head coach. This is his 28th year as the head coach of the Tigers. Over 1,000 wins, one of only a handful of coaches that has been able to do that in Iowa high school softball. And one of these two programs will be returning to the state championship game, a place their historic programs have been familiar with over the last 4 or 5 decades, but in the last 5 years or so, it has been a little while. And talking about that with Ankeny, I'm sure Valley's got that in their same mindset as well, saying, "Hey, we've got a chance to bring our program back up to where it was, say maybe 2010s, mid 2000s."
Yeah, and both of these teams, we talk about the last state championships. It's been a while for both these teams. None of these girls on the field right now were on either of those squads, so. These kids are hungry to come get their school back to that state championship and where they feel that their school belongs.
Well, Valley's definitely poised to take it, but like Coach Bingham told us before the game, you can look at the numbers, you can look at the record, but there's no way to quantify the heart, and Ankeny's got a lot of that as a 22-20 team. And Valley may have some of the big names. You've got Marin Heller, as we talked about a little bit in the pregame. She's only a junior, hitting .452 with 29 extra base hits, a hitter that Abby Rusher's going to have to deal with all throughout the day. And, like you mentioned as well in our pregame, Allie, that, you can deal with Marin Heller. That's fine. But like you say, the rest of the lineup is just as strong.
Yeah. I mean, right behind Marin Heller, you have Claire Long, the Rockers commit, who has 51 RBIs on the season herself.
It is quite a matchup in the 5A semifinal. We'll take a break. We'll step aside, and we will let our public address announcer introduce our starting lineups and the teams.
And the home team from West Des Moines, the Valley Tigers. The winner of this game will play for state championship tomorrow night, right here at Channel Seeds Field at 5 p.m. Now let's meet the players and coaches for both teams. First of all, for the visitors from Ankeny, here are your non-starters. Number 3, Josie Parton. Number 5, Alexa Enright. Number 11, Riley Bach. Number 15, Mara Hansen. Number 20, Tinley Heitman. 22, Caleb Fox. Number 24, Lauren Bishop. Number 27, Brent Bentz. Number 28, Grayson Adams. Number 29, Madison Meyer. And number 30, Eva Drew. Your assistant coaches, Sarah Saladino, Kennedy Thomas, and Ashley Lee. And now, here's your starting lineup for the Ankeny Hawkettes. Leading off, playing center field, number 1, Avery Nelson. Batting second at third base, number 19, Kaylin Miller. Batting third at first base, number 7, Aubrey Lensmeyer. Cleanup hitter for the Hawkettes, doing the catching, number 25, Ava Tomlinson. Batting fifth, doing the pitching, number 14, Abby Rusher. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 13, Autumn Linus. Batting seventh, at second base, number 8, Lily Hand. Batting 8 at shortstop, number 18, Grace Rude. And batting in the 9th position in left field, number 17, Gordon Fisher. Your flex player in right field, number 31, Hannah Howard. And head coach for the Ankeny Hawkettes, Dave Bingham. Now let's meet the home team from Valley. Here are your non-starters. Number 3, Ilsa Hervey. Number 5, Leah Finn. Number 6, Keely Schlingendorf. Number 7, Piper Broderick. Number 9, Drew Cooley. Number 11, Aubrey Wright. Number 15, Jocelyn Muir. Number 16, Jordan Huffman. Number 17, Farrah Hart. Number 20, Chloe Everett. 23, Grant Sibula. 25, Press Redding. And 32, Emily King. And 44, Lily Finn. Your assistant coaches, Megan Rushing, Brandy Rebarger, Anna Fry, Jasmine Span, Mary Whitaker, and Chad Barnes. Now, here's your starting lineup for the Valley Tigers. Leading off, playing center field, number 2, Ireland Roderick. Playing second at second base, number 1, Carrie Rose. Playing third, playing shortstop, number 12, Farron Heller. Cleanup hitter for the Tigers at first base, number 8, Claire Ball. Playing fifth in left field, number 27, Mac Muller. Playing sixth, playing right field, number 4, Anna Easton. Playing seventh at third base, number 13, Audrey Heller. Batting eighth, doing the pitching, number 21, Alexis Tieberman. Batting ninth, playing the designated player, number 10, Emma Scully. And your flex player doing the catching, number 22, Paige Christensen. Head coach for the Valley Tigers, Tom Bakey. Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the home plate area. Our umpires for this 5A semi, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Jake Parker. At third base, Tom Berger. And calling the balls and strikes this morning, Joe Havenhill. That would be so kind. Turn to the center of the complex. Remove your caps and hats as we honor America and our veterans and those around the world currently serving with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, let's do it. You're watching the 2024 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. As sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Iowa Farm Bureau believes in the Iowa girl and cultivating individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. By investing in Iowa's youth, they're investing in Iowa's future. Again, Daniel Versteg with you. Pleased to be joined by Allie Kappert, first team all Big 12 selection in her days at Iowa State, getting ready to take on an Ankeny and Valley matchup in the state semifinals. As we take a look at the Valley Tigers heading into the field with their all-black jerseys, we are going to see a pretty strong pitcher in her own right, as Alexis Stevermer will get the start in the circle. What a record she is on. 20 wins, 1 loss, a 1.5 ERA. But again, I'm just kind of blown away by the fact we're seeing two pitchers, both Abby Rusher and Stevermer, who really are not the overpowering, kind of strikeout pitchers we're used to seeing at State.
It really just goes to show exactly how good defensively this Valley team is. Stevermer does have the ability to really mix up speeds, mix in spots, as well as some spins on the softball when she's throwing. So hats off to her and what she's done in the circle, but the ability to showcase her defense, induce ground balls, pop-ups, things like that, it's going to be those things that keeps Valley with very, very low-scoring games for their opponents.
Yeah, and to that point, Valley has now played 41 games this season. They're 37-4. They've only committed 24 errors all season, less than an error a ball game, and a fielding percentage nearing .980. Going up against an Ankeny squad, and there is their leadoff hitter, Avery Nelson, the center fielder. Comes in with a batting average of .369, as she will try and get the Hawkettes off to a good start against a very tough pitcher in Stevermer. No, that is going to be a tough test for sure, but Ankeny wouldn't be here if they weren't thinking they could get the job done. It's a 1 versus 5 seed matchup. It's a Class 5A state semifinal, and it's just about ready to get underway. Here from Channel Seeds Field in Fort Dodge, Stevermer gets on the pitching rubber, and the first pitch is in there. It's a strike, and we are underway in this 5A state semifinal.
Avery Nelson up to bat for the Hawkettes. 2 hits on Monday against Northwest. Really did a nice job driving the ball right back up the middle into the outfield, getting herself on.
She takes high. Yeah, those 2 hits were crucial, too. I mean, put the pressure on the Northwest defense, and we saw that with a wild pitch in there and a bobbled, hard-hit ground ball. You get yourself on base, and good things can happen. It's the 1-1, and that is a ball taken down, 2-1.
And Stevermer, they're going with a drop ball against Nelson. Just the ability, spin the ball, get it to move, keep these hitters on their heels.
Here's a 2-1. That's off the plate, 3-1. And you see the Valley infield, they are really shallow. The shortstop, Marin Heller, is playing regular depth, but corner infielders, even the second baseman, Carrie Rose, she's playing pretty shallow too.
Yeah, they know Avery Nelson's going to hit the ball on the ground. She hits hard ground balls. And the walk to start off the game, that's huge for Ankeny.
Yeah, big time. First base runner of the contest, 5-pitch walk of Avery Nelson. And I kind of like what you're talking about, pitching the drop ball to her. You want to pitch into your defense, and definitely they tried to do that, just couldn't locate the zone. And now here comes Kaylin Miller.
And the corners will stay in, expecting the sacrifice bunt here out of Miller.
There is the bunt shown, and it's fouled back. Kaylin Miller, who does not sport a very solid batting average, just .181 this season, but has produced when needed to. She's got 8 extra base hits and has driven in 12 runs in her junior season.
And her sole intention being in the 2 spot here is to move her runner. Ankeny knows they need to get runners in scoring position against Valley. Early lead would be huge if you're the Hawkettes.
Yeah, if you let the slow burn, a tie game, 1-run game, whatever, you are going to pay for it when Valley comes up the second time around for sure. There's a bunt. Pushed up the first base line. Long applies the tag herself on Kaylin Miller, but the bunt does get the job done as Avery Nelson does get into scoring position with 1 out.
And that's exactly what they wanted. Job well done. Very well played by Claire Long at first base. Able to get the tag instead of causing an extra throw there.
And a nice job also to... Something we don't always talk about with tags is squeezing the glove with 2 hands there, making sure it doesn't pop out. So here's one away. It's Aubrey Lensmeyer, first baseman for Ankeny. And that pitch is right there at the knees, strike 1.
Lensmeyer, the South Dakota commit, has the ability to hit with some power for the Hawkettes. Does have several home runs on the season.
9 of them to be exact here. And one of those came against Valley in their doubleheader back on July 1st. The 0-1 just missed with a cut fastball. It's 1-1.
Stevermer trying to paint the outside corner there, misses probably 1 or 2 balls off the plate.
Really close look. That's one you want to get, but it's going to be tough to get that call in the first inning for sure. It's the 1-1. That's a swing and a miss. Change the eye level a little bit and gets ahead 1-2.
You're exactly right. Go with the rise ball there. Mix it up. Stevermer working up and down the ladder in this top of the first inning.
That seems to be the kind of overarching strategy of a lot of pitchers here. We're going to start you down low. All right, then we'll blow you up over the top. There's another one, and it's swung through and missed. Got a strikeout there for Stevermer, her first of the morning, and now it's Ava Tomlinson.
Stevermer back-to-back rise ball on the inside corner to Lensmeyer. Very strategic pitching. Like the spin I'm seeing out of Stevermer so far this morning.
And now the sacrifice is gone. It's going to have to be your cleanup spot. Tomlinson coming through with a base hit. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss right there at the knees, 0-1. Tomlinson, who went 1 for 3 against Northwest on Monday. She's driven in 24 runs, and one of her 4 home runs this season came against Valley. Would you believe Ankeny in the first game of their doubleheader with Valley hit 3 home runs and still lost the game 16-4.
Yeah.
Softball's such a weird sport that way.
It's a weird sport, and the fact of the matter is this Valley offense we know is going to put up a lot of runs.
Right.
So for Ankeny, it's a matter of getting the runners on, then hitting them in as well. Solo shots aren't going to do you much against Valley.
That pitch is high, and a good job by Tomlinson. I think she was paying very close attention to Lensmeyer's at bat, knows to lay off the riser. Tomlinson, a senior, and that only adds to the ability that she has to glean things and show that prowess. 2-1, just off the plate, 3-1.
And on these right-handed hitters, Stevermer has gone multiple times for that outside corner. She's about 1 to 2 balls off the plate, as I mentioned earlier. She's not going to get that call. She needs to work it in just a tiny bit.
It's a tough song and dance. You want to get her to swing and miss at that pitch. If you leave it any closer, it's probably into the right field corner. And how do you locate pitches the way you want? Here's a 3-1. Tomlinson's just underneath it. It's a full count.
Huge swing there by Tomlinson. I like the approach, a 3-1 count. See what you can do with it.
Tomlinson's going to swing hard, make solid contact. We'll see if she can do that here with the count full. And Avery Nelson still hanging out at second base. See her in front of Stevermer there, the payoff. Swing and a miss for strike 3. A leadoff walk for Stevermer. She records a bunt ground out and a pair of strikeouts. Gets out of the first unscathed. We played a half inning. Ankeny does not score. Valley's turn at the plate when we come back. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey fans, level up your game. At Central College, more than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. You can apply today at central.edu. With Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you. A half inning of this contest in the books. A leadoff walk for Avery Nelson. And nothing more. It's Valley's turn. They'll be facing Abby Rusher. We talked about her in the pregame. Just 2 hits allowed yesterday. Only 4 strikeouts. Now, she did walk 4, but it didn't end up hurting her on the scoreboard.
And Rusher's go-to. She early in the game, she tends to work. Her rise ball gets that upward movement on the ball. As you'll notice, as the game goes on, she's going to mix in kind of an off-speed drop. And that's going to be her sequence throughout this game. You'll see that off-speed drop to actually start the game right there. Those are her dominant 2 pitches. If they're working, this Ankeny team has a very good shot of holding this Valley team to little runs.
Well, and that's what we were talking about in the pregame. That's what makes hitters just pop it up like that or, spike it into the ground. There's really not a good way to drive those pitches unless she makes a mistake.
And that's exactly it. And very rarely does she make a mistake, especially on her rise ball. Her rise ball has such a tight spin to it. She gets a lot of upward movement on it. They're catching the outside of the zone with the off-speed pitch once again. So you can see the approach right away is going to be the off-speed and the rise ball.
Facing Ireland Broderick, who's now behind on the count at 1-2. She's going to be a Minnesota State Maverick here next season. 1-2, a line shot up the middle, base hit. And a leadoff single as Back-to-back leadoff base runners in the first inning for both sides. This one on a solid hit up the middle.
And I tell you what, the way to defeat the rise ball, you keep your hands above the pitch. Go for the ground ball. I know that sounds silly as a hitter. You say line drive, line drive. If you get your hands above it, your barrel's going to get to the middle.
And for Valley, too, wants to, hit it over the fence.
Exactly.
That's going to be a change of approach, but I know one thing, Coach Bakey will have them ready to go as now time is called as the pitcher-batter relationship was not quite established there right out of the get-go. Here's Carrie Rose, the Valley second baseman, who loads up, takes a strike, runner goes, throw down is off target, not in time. Broderick swipes second base, her 13th of the year, and Valley's in scoring position.
Valley making it very clear here what their approach is going to be. They are going to be aggressive offensively. You'll see Broderick here, just a great jump on that pitch, and she beats it all the way.
Yeah, that throw didn't even have a chance if it was on target. Showing a bunt, and Broderick takes high, 1-1, and that's really odd too. I mean, this is the 42nd game Valley has played. Based on the numbers online, they've only stolen now 46 bases on the year. That's not really their MO. But clearly something they're trying to do today. Here's a bunt up the third base side. Miller throws wide to first. Heading in to score is Ireland Broderick. And the Tigers take the first lead on an errant play on the infield.
And that right there, you talk about the hard hit to lead off the game, the stolen base. They put pressure on Ankeny right away. Ankeny feeling the pressure here with the errant throw. And now we're doing it again, runner at second base. No outs.
A trade places on a bunt up the third base line, and Carrie Rose is aboard with a two-base error. One run in as well. Here's Marin Heller, future Florida State Seminole in about a year and a half, 2 years or so. This pitch is down to start the count. Well, I don't know if there's too many more dangerous hitters here at the state tournament than Marin Heller. 452 batting average, 844 slugging percentage. That's 29 extra base hits. 1-0. That's in there. Strike one.
And Marin Heller playing for Valley this year after playing the club ball circuit over the last few years, playing with Select Fast Pitch out of Kansas City. Phenomenal player. And as you mentioned, going to Florida State here in about a year and a couple of months. So good for her. She plays the game well. She's a very, very good shortstop and an absolute dominant hitter.
Yeah, when you're as good as Marin Heller is, you have kind of your pick of where you want to go play softball. She definitely did. And she smokes one foul up the third base line. Hot feed over there for Tom Bakey. He's trying to make sure he's still paying attention over there. He's still got it after 28 years. Yeah. Still just as agile.
Coach Bakey, a men's fast pitch player himself.
Yes.
Very good softball player in his own right.
Absolutely. So the count is 2-2 here to Heller, giving her head coach a scare up the third base line. Now the 2-2 is lined into center. That ball's hung up and caught. This is going to be two. Ranging off the second base bag is Carrie Rose. And the center fielder Nelson doubles her off at second base. There's two gone.
And Marin Helen there absolutely crushes that off-speed pitch. You'll see this pitch is coming in slow and low. She gets the bat down, drives it, almost hits it too hard, catches her runner off guard.
What a heads-up play by the sophomore Avery Nelson to make the catch. Quick transfer, double up the runner at second. And now the base is empty as Long fouls one back.
And Claire Long, a hitter not used to coming up with the bases empty. I'll tell you that. She definitely a ton of RBIs on the season. What is it, 51 RBIs on the season. She is a dominant hitter. The Rockhurst commit doing a lot for Valley this year.
And maybe 20% of a swing there, but she made contact, so it's a foul ball. And the count is 0-2. Long, an all-state selection last year, first-teamer. Of her 50-plus runs batted in, 7 of them came in the doubleheader against Ankeny to start this month. 0-2, and that's a riser way up, 1-2. West Des Moines Valley getting on the board with a leadoff hit, followed by a throwing error. And now, Tigers trying to see if they can maybe salvage something here in this inning with 2 outs to add to their lead. Pitch to Long, that's high.
And Rusher going back-to-back rise ball there, just trying to get Long to chase.
That's going to be tricky. Claire Long's only struck out 5 times this season. She does not swing at too many bad pitches. 2-2. That's popped up. Back behind second base, and it is Lily Hans who hauls it in for the 3rd out of the inning. Now Valley scores a run on a hit, an error, and doesn't leave a runner. 1 complete. Tigers have the first lead. We'll have more after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Tigers with a 1-0 advantage here after 1 inning of play as we welcome you back to the state softball tournament. I'm Daniel Versteg. She's Allie Kappert, one who knows more about softball than I will ever learn and probably forget more about softball than I will ever learn as Abby Rusher takes down to start inning number 2.
Abby Rusher, the big hit against Northwest, had a double off the left center field wall. Not typically someone known for her hitting, right. Known for more of what she can do in the circle, but her bat, very strong, hard hit there.
Yeah, hard hit to Marin Heller. The shortstop has no problem with it, though. Hardly had to move for the first out of the inning. So we'll also see 6 and 7 in the order for the Hawkettes. That's Autumn Leinen and Lily Hans facing Alexa Stevermer, who allowed a walk, but now has retired 4 Hawkettes in a row.
And one thing's for certain against this Valley defense, if you hit it to Marin Heller, it's probably going to be an out. So, I mean, just so solid defensively at shortstop.
That one's outside to get the count started to Leinen. Valley Tigers, the number 1 overall seed with just 4 losses on the season, 3 of them in CIML play. They just do not hurt themselves at all. That's outside as well. And again, we're seeing Stevermer trying to dial in that outside corner and having a tough time of doing it. She falls behind 2-0.
I don't necessarily want to say she's struggling too much with control. She's barely missing on that outside corner. It is off the plate. We are sitting right behind home plate. We can see that it is not over the plate, but these Ankeny hitters right now just doing a good job not chasing it.
Yeah, it's a really good pitch when you're going up against a team that's aggressive and swinging all the time. But Ankeny's patient, and they're letting that be a ball all day. That's a good, healthy fastball swung through to even the count. Autumn Leinen, the designated player here for Ankeny. The freshman hitting just a .192, but does have some pop to her line with a slugging percentage of .346. This ball's down to fill the count.
And it was Leinen on Monday with a single that ended up scoring Rusher's run. Mm-hmm. So Leinen with the big hit for Ankeny.
Yeah, you need people to step up. Sometimes it's an uncharacteristic player here at State. Ground ball stabbed at third. It is the other Heller this time. Audrey Heller throws on to first. For out number 2. So 1 out to Marin Heller, 1 out to Audrey Heller, and now it's Lily Hans, the Ankeny second baseman.
Lily Hans, the Missouri Western commit, actually. Yes. She has some power on her bat, the ability to really make the ball fly. You'll see on the rise ball there, swinging away first pitch.
It's going to be a Griffin. Love it. The ball's in a strike here to Lily Hans as Ankeny tries to get a base runner here in inning number 2 and has only gotten 1 base runner through the first inning plus. That one misses down. This middle part of the order for Ankeny is starting to get to the bottom third, trying to produce against Stevermer, who is inducing good contact, struck out a couple in the first inning, and has settled in nicely. That one got the outside corner that time. That's a good location to live at. It's 1-2.
Great pitch there by Stevermer, just painting that outside corner. Hans behind now with 2 strikes. Typically a big swinging hitter.
Wide stance, 1-2, pulled foul. Over toward the tarp. Count stays as the same. Again, the winner of this game is going to play in the championship game tomorrow. They will face off with either Pleasant Valley or Urbandale. We could get an all-CIML championship game. We're guaranteed one team from the CIML to make the championship game, but it'd be the onus on Urbandale to try and make it an all-CIML title match.
And I tell you what, both Urbandale and Pleasant Valley had fun games on Monday. Very high scoring. Pleasant Valley scored 8 runs. Urbandale scored 10 runs. So,
and both won by 1 run.
Yeah.
So.
And you have to imagine that game over there is going to be a high scoring affair.
It's another 1-2, and this one's floated out to left. Able to get under it is Mac Moeller, and she puts it away for out number 3. So Stevermer retires this side in order in the second inning. They're midway through the second. Still 1-0 Tigers on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Ladies, the place for you.
To the bottom of inning number 2 with Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you. The West Des Moines Valley Tigers getting their leadoff base runner in the bottom of the first to come around and score, and that is the difference. Abby Rusher settled in nicely, getting a pitcher's friend with a double play in the first, and now starts off the dangerous Mackenzie Moeller with a strike on the inner half.
And Rusher there working up and in at the hands on Moeller to start off this second inning.
Yeah, if you can locate that spot, it's going to be tricky. This one misses up. Mackenzie Moeller, we mentioned it a little bit in the pregame. Boy, could she do it all for the Tigers against the Prairie Hawks on Monday. 3 for 4, doubled twice, homered once, drove in 4 runs while scoring 3 on her own.
Truly one of Valley's most dangerous hitters in this lineup, and I know we could say that probably about most of their lineup, but truly she showed it on Monday.
2-1. That one's popped up just underneath it. Yeah, she's probably made more dangerous by the fact that you are dedicating so much attention to Marin Heller, Claire Long, even the top of the order, that you get to the 5 spot, you're just so gassed, and she's able to make you pay.
Yeah.
There's a line drive out to center field, but it is going to hang up long enough for Avery Nelson to camp under it. It's out number 1.
Avery Nelson played that ball very, very well, going straight back. That's a tough play to make when you're going straight back rather than left or right. So great play by her, and Mac Moeller, another strong hit. Could have easily been a double.
Oh, definitely. That had the carry, that had the power, but we did not account for Avery Nelson's range out there in center field for out number 1. And now Anna Easton, right fielder, is up to bat here against Rusher. Just misses a bit up, 1-0. Anna Easton, third-team All-Stater in her own right last year. 369 hitter, slugging almost 600 again. It's kind of the same song and dance as you go down the order. High batting average, high slugging percentage, and high run-producing totals as Rusher evens the count.
And Abby Rusher so far, a lot of what we were seeing on Monday, she is locked in. She is truly locked in, hitting corners of the plate. The spin on her ball, the ball is jumping every single pitch she's thrown.
The 1-1. That's fouled back. And the contact she has induced, that fly ball out to center was definitely the hardest hit one of the day, but outside of that, she has been able to pitch to her defense, pitch to contact, and able to get outs that way. Here's the 1-out, 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at strike 3. Rusher records the strikeout for out number 2, and that's got to be a good feeling for Abby Rusher as she faces Aubrey Heller.
Abby Rusher painting that outside corner. The first ball in that at-bat that wasn't some sort of rise ball. So she stayed flat with that one. She stayed on the outside corner. Very effective pitching sequence.
Here's the first one to Audrey Heller, and it misses down and in. Now the Hawkettes are liking what I'm seeing here. You get down early to a team like this, and they're still just doing what they do best. They are making their plays. They're keeping it where it's at and making sure they'll have a chance to try and come back in this one. Count is 1-1 here to Audrey Heller as Rusher's trying to do her part by setting the Tigers down in order in this second inning. The 1-1. That's a drop ball down, 2-1.
Ankeny right now with just that one, or Valley with the one unearned run. So Abby Rusher, really good job keeping her composure after that, not letting it fall apart or get out of hand.
Now it's 3 balls and a strike, and that's the first 3-ball count that Valley has worked against Abby Rusher. And we'll see how Rusher responds here. To Audrey Heller, the pitch. It's in there. Good spot on 3-1 to fill the count.
Well played all around. Abby Rusher with the great pitch right at the knees. Good take, honestly, though, by Audrey Heller. That pitch was a tiny bit low, not really one you're going to hit with a ton of power in a 3-1 count.
Big payoff, missed down, ball 4, and Audrey Heller is aboard, and she will try and start something here with 2 gone for the Valley Tigers as her pitcher, Alexa Stevermer, comes up to bat next. So Stevermer, the senior pitcher, now batting, and another one of those players that you can think, well, she's just a pitcher. Nope, it's 300 on the season as well. Again, another strong bat in the Valley lineup as she takes the ball to get things started.
I love watching a pitcher who can hit.
Yes.
I mean, seeing a player who just has a very well-rounded game, in my eyes, are the most fun players to watch.
The 1-0. And I love pitchers, too, that can, they can hit, and then they are, workhorses running around the infield. They're trying to make plays off the bunt. They're trying to field pop-ups, They're doing all things right, and, proving why a lot of people say pitchers are the best athletes on the field.
Yeah, truly.
Yes.
And you'll see Abby Rusher there called out. Catcher Ava Tomlinson wanted to talk something over, maybe their approach in this at-bat. But Rusher, a pitcher who works pretty fast.
That pitch is popped up again. Yeah, that's another thing I like, too, is when you get a pitcher that says, give me the ball, let me go.
Pace of play is so important in the game of softball. If you have a pitcher that's working too slow in the circle, and there's a fine line.
Yep.
Sometimes pitchers are working too fast, but if you have a pitcher that's working too slow, it gets your defense on their heels. A lot tougher for your defense to stay involved in the ballgame.
This one's crushed foul. Well out of play. Count is 1-2. Stevermer got around on it, but couldn't keep it fair. So she's still behind in this count, and again, Abby Rusher continues to battle through some tough at-bats. Filled the count and walked Audrey Heller. Can't quite put away Stevermer yet. This one's a changeup. She waited back on it. It's playable down the left field line. Over to dive and unable to make the catch is Fisher. Great layout from the Ankeny 8th grader, Morgan Fisher, but couldn't quite bring it in.
In this field on both sides, left field and right field, ton of foul territory. So that is a ton of ground to cover for your left fielder going over. And Fisher, as you mentioned, almost able to make that play.
Just off the fingertips there. Yeah, to your point, most high school softball diamonds are probably 180 down the line. Here it is 200 all the way around. So that corner is cavernous if one gets stuck down there. And Stevermer just continues to spoil off pitches. She'll see pitch number 7 in this at-bat. She's fouled off 3 2 strike pitches to this point, and
7 pitches, still down 1-2, but I mean, doing a great job putting her bat on the ball regardless of where it is pitched.
See if she gets a mistake here. So another 1-2 from Rusher. That's down, and it evens the count at 2-2.
And good approach there by Rusher. You're ahead 1-2. You have someone who you know is attacking at the ball. Go off the plate. That time she just went low. See if you can get her to chase.
Yeah. After 3 straight foul balls, it's not a bad idea. Swing mode, trying to protect. Here's the 2-2. Off the plate outside, and the count is full, and Audrey Heller will get a head start.
That pitch was very, very close, but as we mentioned with Stevermer and her own pitches as well, missing the plate, 1 ball off on the outside, you're not going to get that call.
Yeah, Stevermer saying if you don't give that to me, you're certainly not going to give it to her. Here's the payoff. Heller goes, a bouncing ball to short, picked up by Grace Rude, throw to first. What a stretch for Aubrey Lensmeyer, and she records the 3rd out of the inning. The 2-out walk is left on the bases. We played 2. It's a 1-0 Tiger lead here at the State Softball Tournament on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental. For your smile, for your health, and for your community.
We played 2 here at the Girls State Softball Tournament, and Valley did not score thanks to some great flexibility at first.
Yeah, Aubrey Lensmeyer, they're able to make the play. It's very rare that you give the hats off to the first baseman on those plays, and Aubrey Lensmeyer showing the stretch.
Boy, I wish I could be that flexible. I'm sure it would make getting up in the morning a lot easier, but they're high schoolers. There's a reason they can still do that. With Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you. 2 innings in the books, and we should also make a note. There's a little potential threat for some weather. I am looking out to the northwest and seeing some pretty dark clouds. Well, there we go.
You just called that.
Perfect timing. I apologize. I'll take the blame on that. But lightning has now been sensed or tracked in the area, and so we are now under a 30-minute lightning delay. The rain has not started, but lightning has officially been declared in the area. So we are 2 innings complete. West Des Moines Valley with a 1-0 lead over Ankeny, just about ready to start the top half of the 3rd inning. But we have gone into a lightning delay, and so we will we'll step aside here for just a moment, and we'll keep you up to date with the progress of this game after 2. We're in a lightning delay here at the state tournament. Well, we welcome you back to the Harlan and Hazel Rogers Softball Park here in Fort Dodge. Daniel Versteg with you, Allie Kappert with you as we come back from a rain delay that lasted over an hour. So we had the lightning delay, and then if you saw kind of on the side of our broadcast there, it did start to pour pretty consistently. And so they brought the tarp out. They got everything covered up pretty well, and the field is looking like it's in pretty good condition. So here's where we are. Valley is currently on top 1-0 after 2 innings of play. Getting ready to start the top half of the third inning. It'll be 8-9-1 for Ankeny as they face Alexis Stevermer, who allowed a leadoff walk in the first inning but has retired 6 in a row. So now the million-dollar question, Allie, is after you got all geared up, you played a half hour, roughly speaking, you got 2 innings in the books of intense softball, how do you get back to that feeling you had an hour ago after just, sitting around for a while?
Yeah, I mean, truly, I think both teams here are going to be looking for a little bit of a reset. So I think both teams have come out a little bit slower than they would have hoped. Valley, a very high-scoring team, has been held to just 1 run in the first 2 innings. In Ankeny, on the other hand, they haven't gotten any runs up. So for Ankeny, it's looking to hit a reset button. It's getting your pitchers back, geared in, ready to go. The nice thing about this, we're at the top of the third inning, no outs, no one on base. It is a clean slate. So, I mean, technically, you're kind of just looking at, hey, starting a new ball game. We're only playing 5 innings now instead of 7. So, it's as far as rain delays go, kind of best case scenario in the fact that you're at the top of an inning, very close ball game, just 1-0 ball game, only 1 hit so far. Right. So, I think both teams are just going to be looking for a little bit of a reset and. Ankeny ended up leaving their dugout during that rain delay, so they were singing some songs. Both teams pretty energetic, it seems, but they ended up heading back, staying dry. Valley did stay in their dugout, and then they were at the concession stand underneath the overhang over there. So both teams a little bit of a different approach. One team stuck around. One team said, hey, let's leave the field. Let's come back with a fresh start.
Yep, totally reset. It's a wise idea, and I think both teams did their part in getting fueled back up. They had a little bit of time, so have a quick snack, get something to drink, stuff like that, and yeah, it is kind of odd. You don't resume in the middle of an inning. It really is going to feel like lengthwise we're kind of walking into a JV game, but it's 5 innings, you're down a run, and we don't have to pick up in the middle of an inning, so that's gonna change a lot. I mean, Ankeny was maybe starting to pick things up against Stevermer. They were making some solid contact, and now you're getting ready for the second time through the order. You kind of have to, regroup and almost remind yourself of what you saw the first time through the order.
Oh, that's exactly correct. And so far for both pitchers, we've seen a little bit of a tighter zone. Nothing wrong with that. So working with a little bit of a smaller strike zone, have hitters be selective when they're going up there, making sure that they're not swinging at anything too crazy. Both Stevermer and Rusher for Ankeny do have a tendency to throw some rise balls, some drop balls. They tend to climb the ladder in how they pitch. So making sure that you're not chasing anything as a hitter, be selective and use that to your advantage.
Yeah, they definitely can do that, and both teams are very capable of doing that. So for Valley, we talked about Ankeny a little bit. Obviously, they're going to be back up to bat here in the top of the third. For Valley, they got the unearned run in the first inning, got a walk in the second. Outside of that, they haven't done a whole lot. If you're if you're Alexa Stevermer, you got to go out and get back to work in the circle defensively, playing some strong defense, but it's still just going to have to be a reset from that standpoint too.
100%. Yeah, the pitchers, typically these long delays are hardest on our pitchers.
So, yep.
We're ready.
Yeah, we are ready. Our home plate umpire confirming that things are off and ready to roll here. 2 innings in the books. It is West Des Moines Valley, the top seed, leading Ankeny 1-0. The update on the other diamond featuring a 4A game, and that game got through the top half of the first inning. They had a couple of flyouts and a ground out, not much more there. So that game has not developed a whole lot. I know we had a consolation contest getting going, so all of the diamonds, basically if you're planning on coming out to Fort Dodge today and you've got a game that you were anticipating to see, you just want to kind of pay attention to how things are going, because I think a lot of games are going to be probably at minimum an hour behind schedule at this point. So just pay attention. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union does a great job on social media, their website. They relay information to us about any changes to the schedule that could be forthcoming. And, of course, we'll try and pass those along to you if we get them as well.
And some good news here. Initially, we had been told a 12:15 start. Looks
Yes.
like we are gearing up, ready to go. So these players in both dugouts, the Ankeny hitters had their helmets on, bats out about 5-10 minutes ago. They were ready to go. So luckily, they're not going to make them wait 20 minutes longer.
Oh, thank goodness, yeah, because we were contending with the rain. Well, we were first contending with the lightning, and then we were contending with the rain, and then we had to say, okay, when is the last lightning strike? How are we going to time that out? And, yeah, initially they said 12:15 was when we'd get going again, but looks like we might get this resuming pitch in before noon. So an outstanding job. We've been saying it all week on our broadcast, but another outstanding job by the grounds crew out there at Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Park. Once the lightning delay started, they had the tarp rolled out and ready to go. As soon as the first drop hit the dirt, it was pulled onto the infield. This field's in outstanding condition, and it is ready to resume play. It is Grace Rude in the box, and she swings at the first pitch. We resume play here at about 11:56, about an hour and 15 to 20-minute rain delay here in Fort Dodge as we resume play in the top half of the first inning, or the third inning, excuse me. So the count is no balls and a strike, and here's the pitch to Rude. That's outside. So we could see maybe a change of strategy as well of how Stevermer wants to throw to Ankeny hitters and maybe see if she can basically reset their, learning process against her.
And Stevermer working inside on that pitch. First two innings, she really worked that outside corner of the plate. These Ankeny hitters have thus far laid off of that pitch. They really haven't chased it, so she's going to need to adjust that game plan just a tiny bit. Maybe work a little bit more inside or maybe one ball in to get those hitters swinging.
Since popped up left side of the infield. It is the third baseman to get there, and the catch is made. That is out number one. So Audrey Heller puts away out number one. No problem there, and it'll bring up the bottom of the order in Morgan Fisher.
And you'll see Valley's slap defense once again bringing second baseman way in, actually slightly different here on Morgan Fisher than they did on Avery Nelson. So you'll see the second baseman there, Carrie Rose, is playing equal with her pitcher. You have Claire Long at first base playing back behind the base. And then you have both Hellers on the left side playing in.
And Ireland Broderick in center field is in basically left center, straightaway left center field. Sometimes I've seen some slap defenses where you bring an outfielder in.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them where they actually bring in the right fielder. It's pretty rare for slap hitters to pull the ball, so a lot of them will actually adjust in the right fielder.
Listen, slap the other way, and you can do only so much to prevent a slap hitter from reaching. Morgan Fisher has Ankeny's first hit of the ball game.
Morgan Fisher there, she hit right into the defense. They knew she was going left side. She did exactly that. There's still gaps to be found, and Morgan got herself on base now for the top of the order.
Yeah, that's a huge step there for Ankeny. They had only reached on a walk, and Stevermer had retired 7 Hawkettes in a row. As we go now to the top of the order in Avery Nelson. As you mentioned, kind of a different defensive alignment for this slap hitter, or kind of more of a small ball hitter. She takes a strike to start this at bat.
It's interesting, and that just goes to show the power of scouting reports in our game nowadays. I mean, every single hitter defensively, you could play slightly different.
And this is down 1-1. And there's so many, and especially when you consider Valley and Ankeny, you can play each other twice and feel like you know each other, but, there's still things you need to learn. The pop up to short, catch is made by Marin Heller, and that is out number 2.
Marin Helen there making that look easy. She started jogging off to the dugout just a little bit. Got to reset after the rain delay, only 2 outs.
Yeah, I think she thought it was out number 3. So we're getting things all back on track here. Everybody's figuring out where we're at, and Kaylin Miller watches strike one go by.
Kaylin Miller, her last at bat, laid down an absolutely perfect sacrifice bunt down the first base line. A little bit different. You come out with 2 outs, you know you're hitting away, so corners play in regular depth.
The 0-1, it's down, evens the count. Yeah, that bunt kind of made it look like, okay, Ankeny was going to take advantage of the leadoff base runner, but man, 2 strikeouts right in a row in that first inning from Stevermer really put a stop to that threat quickly. Here's the 1-1. That's foul. So Stevermer ahead at a ball and 2 strikes as Ankeny tries not to leave a leadoff or a 1-out hit, off the bat of Morgan Fisher, who dropped it beautifully in the middle of a slap defense. 1-2. And that one's pulled down the left field line. It's getting down, a base hit. Fisher's on her way to third. The throw in from left is not in time. A late tag by Audrey Heller. And heading to second on that throw to the infield as well as Kaylin Miller. And Ankeny has runners on at second and third.
Wow. Great piece of hitting there first off by Kaylin Miller, driving that ball into left field. You'll see a replay here. And Coach Bingham is waving Morgan Fisher over right away. That ball is played very, very well. Wow. Very close play at third base. It
doesn't get more bang-bang than that. The Tigers executed that perfectly to third, just was not quite in time. And so second and third for Ankeny with 2 outs. And you've got a really good part of the order here. The first baseman, Aubrey Lensmeyer, will bat. And
a part of the order here that's really looking for a redemption. Mm-hmm. After that first inning, they had runners on second base, weren't able to get her in. Now coming up with runners on second and third. Lensmeyer, 9 home runs on the season, able to put the ball in play with some power.
I'm wondering if Coach Bakey was thinking about walking her, but it looks like they are going to pitch to her here. Second and third with 2 outs in the third, and the pitch just a touch low.
I think Coach Bakey here has the most confidence in his defense. So it's as long as your pitcher pitches to the right spots, keeps the ball in play, he knows his defense is going to make a play.
Yeah. I'm not about to question a guy who has won over 1,000 games in softball. That one is in there at the knees, and well-placed confidence in his pitcher, who has even the count at 1-1. So 2 hits for Ankeny after not having a hit at all before the rain delay, and I chatted with one of the Ankeny coaches. They were pretty confident, saying they would be able to make some solid contact now. This one's fouled back. And you got to have that confidence when you go into a game and come out of a rain delay.
It's just about making adjustments. And sometimes a rain delay, some teams it's a great thing. Sometimes it's not so great of a thing. But it allows you the time to talk things over. Every hitter essentially had seen the pitcher at that point, so they can talk to each other. What have you seen? What are you doing with your swing?
Just inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Aubrey Lensmeyer. And, you mentioned it, I think, at the start of this at-bat, that this part of the order, 2 strikeouts and a harmless ground out the first time through. This would really turn the tides and maybe build some confidence heading to the rest of the game. 2-2. It's popped up. And Stevermer wants it. She's called off by her catcher. And it's Christensen who makes the catch. Paige Christensen puts away out number 3. So 2 base runners reach scoring position for the Hawkettes. They don't score. We resume play with the bottom of the third, and we come back on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fans, official state tournament merchandise is now available online. It's time to get your smartphones out. Just scan that QR code in the bottom left of your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. With Allie Kappert, Daniel Versteg with you here on Channel Seeds Field at the Girls Union State Softball Tournament. It is presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We are going to the bottom half of the third inning. Valley still clinging on to a 1-0 lead as Emma Scully, the bottom of the order, takes the ball up to start this inning. So you've got Valley's first time through the order since the rain delay as well. They are finishing their first full time through the order, and then we'll cycle things right back up to the top with Ireland Broderick. And now time is called before the first pitch, and we will reset things here with the count 1-0. Emma Scully is the designated player as that one is in there at the knees, strike one.
Scully, a player that really works as a secondary leadoff hitter for Valley at the bottom of the order there. She does get herself on base quite a bit.
Yeah, we're seeing that more and more. I mean, gone are the days of your 9-hole hitter being the worst hitter on the roster.
100%. And every coach treats that lineup so differently. So many of the hitters in Valley, I don't know if there's a worst hitter in there.
No, right, that's true. Especially not in the starting lineup, that's for sure.
Right. So, but it's kind of one of those situations where your 9 hitter is, like I said, a second leadoff truly, and your hitter with the lowest average might hide in that 7 or 8 spot now.
So 1-2. It's up and away, and that evens the count from Rusher. Abby Rusher, who is coming off that 2-hit shutout performance against Milwaukee Northwest on Monday in the quarterfinal. Went through 2 strong innings, did not give up an earned run, but does have an unearned run on the scoreboard that is the difference in this ball game. That one's pulled foul. So Emma Scully's hanging around, and that has been the MO of this Valley team so far. While they may not be putting up the gaudy numbers they're used to, boy, pitch counts are high. They keep fouling off 2-strike pitches, and it is tough for Abby Rusher to put hitters away.
You got the left fielder and shortstop out there trying to find the ball. From our angle, we could see it, but it was funny she couldn't find it.
That's what the delay was. Yeah, I didn't even look out there. And I mentioned this, too, in one of the games yesterday. It's very rare that you have a high school softball diamond that has a tarp in play. It's just kind of a different scenario. There's a wave and a miss as Abby Rusher pulled the string on the changeup and records her second strikeout of the game. Good way to get things going after the rain delay.
Rusher continuing to work that pitch sequence. She needs to stay with it, pitch her own game, not worry about what these Valley hitters are doing. That was a phenomenal pitch out of the right-hander Rusher.
Yeah, she really hadn't thrown a whole lot of those changeups, maybe a couple in the first 2 innings before the rain delay. As she dials in a fastball to Ireland Broderick.
It was interesting watching her pitch sequence on Monday. First couple innings, she really stuck with the rise ball. Really, that was her go-to pitch. And later in the game is when she really started mixing speeds. So it'll be interesting after this rain delay. Does she start right away mixing those speeds? Does she wait a couple innings?
That pitch is hit in the air to left. It's Fisher chasing it back. She won't get it. It bounces up against the wall, and Broderick works her way into second base with a 1-out double, and it is a Channel Seeds extra base hit.
And Ireland Broderick now the only 2 hits for Valley so far this game. She is seeing the ball very, very well, able to get her hands above that rise ball, drive right through the middle.
And that Channel Seeds extra base hit gets Valley on the bases here with 1 out in the inning, and now both hits for the Tigers have come from Ireland Broderick. She scored the only run as well. Here is a first pitch strike to Carrie Rose. Counts 0-1. And Ava, I think we had one of those kind of hard hit balls right at a outfielder before the rain delay. And as you had mentioned at that point, it is so tough to play a ball that's going straight back at you. Ava Fisher gave it a try, and this one's lined foul just wide of the first base bag. It must have hit off the safety base down there. And so the count is 0-2. So Broderick with a double. She did steal a base in inning number 1, but might not be able to do that here.
And with only a 1-run lead right now, I don't know how aggressive Valley will be on the base, especially with the heart of their order coming up. Only 1 out.
This one's fouled back, stays alive.
Great hold there by Rose. Abby Rusher's off-speed pitch is so dominant.
I mean, you are geared up for the fastball. She throws it, and then you just have to hold your hands back.
Yep.
Counts 0-2. And Rusher, here is the 0-2. That's line past third, a base hit. The wave around for Broderick as it kicks by the left fielder. Heading to second and getting there safely is Carrie Rose. It's an RBI base hit, and the Tigers are on top 2-0 here in the bottom of the third.
That ball was absolutely peppered into left field. Tough to play it there, but Fisher there just kicks it towards center. You have to think the run probably would have scored anyway, but regardless, the air in left field allows the extra base to second.
Yeah, it's going to be an RBI hit, and then the error by Fisher in left allows Rose to get to second base, is I believe how they're going to score it, which would make sense. So it is the first earned run of the ball game for Valley as they take a 2-0 lead. It's Marin Heller lined into a double play. It's a big couple outs in the first, and now this one's shot down the right field line. It lands just foul. Boy, that was a lot closer than I think everybody anticipated. The right fielder, Hannah Howard, got there, but it was not quite in time.
That was about 6 inches foul. Could have easily been an RBI single, though, into right field.
Just barely foul, and so the count is 0-1 here to Marin Heller. And the 1-out pitch. That one smoked to short on the hop. It's past Rude into the outfield for a base hit. Big turn from Heller. She stays put, and the Tigers have runners on the corners with 1 away.
And this is a scary moment for Ankeny right now. These Valley bats have woken up.
Yeah, and you're on the same page as Dave Bingham too. I mean, this is the time you need to, we're getting hit around. 3 straight hits, so got to calm the nerves and go back to what was working in the first couple innings.
You're exactly right. You have Claire Long coming up. She popped out to the second baseman in the first inning on a rise ball from Rusher. So, I mean, Rusher needs to go back to what's working, regardless of what these Valley hitters are doing. And Ankeny's defense right now just needs to find a way to settle in.
3 hits, though, have made that tricky. We'll see how things progress from there. As, again, in case you're just tuning in, we started at 10. We were pretty much on time. We had about an hour 15, hour 20 rain delay up until about noon, in which we were able to get the game resumed. So this is going to finish the first full inning of play after the rain delay. We started right away with the top half of inning number 3, the first pitch of the top of the third. And now Valley has woken up. Maybe it just took a little rain spraying them in the face to say, hey, let's get our bats going. It's Claire Long, and she pops it up on the infield. This is not an infield fly rule, so the catch has to be made, and is made by Grace Rude, the shortstop, and it's out number 2.
That ball hit absolutely a mile high into the sky. That one, I mean, it's tough. Base runner-wise, you have to stay put, but that's a tough play to make for your infielders when the ball is hit that high.
Nice job by Rude to stay with it. She had to go to the second base side of the second base bag. Now here's Moeller. Heller goes. The pitch is up, and Heller's trying to get into a rundown, and Ankeny says, no way, we're not going to play that game.
She knows exactly what she's doing out there.
and Valley knows, too, that Ankeny knows, so just say, all right, let's just take second. Yep, no chance to try and get baited into that. Counts 1-0 here to Moeller. That's on the inside corner to even the count.
And Moeller here in the 5 spot, one of the most dangerous bats in this Valley lineup. She was the one that had the big game on Monday against Prairie.
Yeah, 8 total bases. She went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a homer, and now she bounces 1 foul. And you can't ask for a better day at the state tournament. 1 extra base hit is great, let alone hitting 1 over the fence and 2 extra bases.
It's a great day.
That's a great day. That's exactly what you want to do when you come to Fort Dodge and play under the state's biggest lights. 1-2 here to Moeller. It's outside, just missing, and Moeller with a good take.
And Moeller right now has the opportunity to really break this game open. I know we're only in the third inning, but you have two runners in scoring position. If she gets a hold of one right now, it has the chance to really put Valley in a good spot.
And she hits it off the handle. It's trouble over the second base bag and down. 1 run scores. Here comes Heller to score as well. And now the throw to the infield gets by the catcher Tomlinson. As Moeller takes second base, she drives in 2 and puts the Tigers up 4.
And that is a prime example right there. Sometimes it is not as hard as you hit it. It is where you hit it. Strategically placed ball right behind second base to make it a 4-0 ball game.
What a massive piece of hitting. That is 4 hits here in this inning for Valley. 3 runs have scored in this inning. First pitch strike, and stealing third is Moeller. Boy, she caught the Hawkette defense napping there.
It's scary. When Valley gets momentum, there is absolutely no stopping them. I mean, you have 2 outs, runner at second base, and you're choosing to steal like that, and it turns into a no-throw.
Right.
I mean, that is when you know you have it going your way.
Swing and a miss, strike 2, yeah. Well, Cedar Rapids Prairie learned that on Monday. Learned it the hard way with an 11-1 loss in 5 innings. And Ankeny is starting to go the hard way here against Valley. 4 hits, 2 errors in this inning, and 3 runs have scored. It's the 0-2. It's outside. No take. And that's the other thing, too, is you can get ahead of a Valley hitter. That's great. But they are so darn disciplined, it's near impossible to put them away.
Yeah, and these hitters know not to chase that outside pitch right now. There's no need for her to swing at that pitch. She does exactly that. Work yourself back even.
Anna Easton fouls one back. Kicks up a little water that might have been caught in that backstop from the rain shower we got here. And it only rained for about 10, 15 minutes maybe, but it was enough to put this one in an hour-plus rain delay. So 1-2. That's a high pop-up left side. Who wants it? And it's going to be Grace Rude. The shortstop settles under it. She makes the catch. It's out number 3. But the Tigers have done their damage. They score 3 on 4 hits, 2 errors, and leave a runner. So we played 3, and the Tigers with a strong 4-0 lead here at the state softball tournament on Girls Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
4-0 West Des Moines Valley lead as we welcome you back to the state softball tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau with Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you. A big 3-run third has grown the lead after the rain delay we experienced for about an hour plus after the second inning. Both teams were able to get the offense going. I guess the rain delay kind of woke up both offenses as Ava Tomlinson starts things off, taking a strike from Alexa Stevermer. Ankeny was able to get a couple of hits. They had not had a hit in the first 2 innings. They reached with 2 hits in inning number 3, and that was really able to get their offense going. Maybe it could lead to something more here in the 4th. That evens things up. Got a ball on a strike. And you've got the middle part of your order here, 4, 5, and 6 up for the Hawkettes. As, again, they are going to try and make something happen after the last time at the plate did not go anybody's way. That's just low, 2-1.
And this feels right now like a critical moment for Ankeny. I know it's only the 4th inning. You still have 4 at-bats left in this game, but with the momentum Valley has right now, it feels like this is the time that Ankeny needs to start chipping away at this lead.
Yeah, got to get 1 back at least, and let the chips fall from there. There's a swing and a miss. And as we talked about with this middle part of the order, they've got to be able to step up. You know, these are the girls you rely on a night in and night out basis. You got seniors, you've got strong hitters. Ava Tomlinson's one of those. She needs to hopefully get something started here for the Hawkettes. Even count from Stevermer. Tomlinson shows bunt, pulls it back, and fouls one first base side. It'll get down. Well, and we do also have a defensive change for Valley. Emma Scully has taken over behind the plate. Spot originally held by Paige Christensen. 2-2. That pitch is fouled straight back. So I believe that also means Valley loses their DP as well, because Scully was the DP.
And they are in a DP flex, with each other there, so they are pretty interchangeable then throughout the game.
Right, yeah, you don't lose the DP fully necessarily, but does add a little bit of a wrinkle there.
Right.
So we'll see how that maybe keeps adapting as the game goes along. This one fouled off, and a good battle here from Tomlinson. Counts 2-2, and this will be pitch number 8 of this at-bat.
And Tomlinson just doing a nice job fouling away the right pitches. She's worked this count back to even. As you mentioned, just seeing a ton of pitches. Really good for Ankeny right now. Get familiar with what you're seeing.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job by Stevermer. She's got her 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, 3rd strikeout of the game, 2nd against Tomlinson. Stevermer just seems to have the number of the middle of this lineup right now.
Yeah, if you want to go 3 through 6, call that the middle part of the order. They are combined 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts against Stevermer. Really nice job dealing with a tough part of the Hawkette order as Rusher takes high and away.
And Abby Rusher up to bat right now. She was the one for Ankeny that got things started against Northwest. She had the double to left center field.
Yeah, that was a big hit, allowed the 2-run 5th as Stevermer now drops the softball, and that will be a ball. So it's 2-0 here to Abby Rusher.
She's laughing that one off. That happens.
That does happen. Now one yesterday slipped out of the hand of the pitcher so bad, just went straight up. 2-0. There's a strike of the knees. 2-1.
Air's a little bit sticky. A lot of sweat on the pitcher's hand. Definitely something. And as a pitcher, you just got to laugh it off, really.
You can't dwell on it. It happened. No big deal. 2-1 here to Rusher. The pitch is crushed to left field. That ball is way out of here. Abby Rusher got the Hawkettes started yesterday. She gets them started here today. It's a solo bomb to left, and the Hawkettes are on the board. What a time for her first home run of the season as well. Abby Rusher leaves the yard to left field.
And that ball just absolutely sizzling out of the park like a hot plate on a fajita.
And we're going to see a replay. I mean, this ball just tattooed.
What a hit.
Left fielder Mackenzie Moeller gave it a chance, but as soon as it gets to a certain point out there, you just got to let it be. So Abby Rusher with a solo shot, but as we mentioned in the pregame, if you were with us about 2 hours ago, Ankeny was able to hit 3 home runs in one of their games in a doubleheader against Valley back on July 1st. But it didn't matter. They lost it 16-4. Solo home runs are not going to win this game. It's going to take a methodical approach to get base runners on and work them around.
That's just it. I mean, the solo shot, that ball was
crushed.
Absolutely crushed. Great hit. Don't want to discount that at all, but a solo shot isn't going to hurt you.
Marin Heller sticks with a sinking line drive and throws out Autumn Linen, out number 2. As the Valley Tigers put that home run behind them and just work ahead of the next hitter. But hopefully that home run, if you're an Ankeny fan anyway, that you hope can get things rolling for the next few innings. As we talked about, they did get a run on the board. They started the process of chipping away at the Valley lead. But
I would have to say at this point, too, not that individual accolades matter, but I think Abby Rusher is making herself quite the case for an all-tournament team.
I think so, too.
Selection.
It's going to be hard to leave her off. At this point, you mentioned the double she had against Northwest, 2-hit shutout against the Wolves. And even here, while she has given up 4 runs, she's hit a home run. And really, it's only been one bad inning to this point.
Right.
Stevermer gets back onto the pitching rubber. And that 2-0. Ooh, that missed outside. I think that was a tough break there for Stevermer, who had her catcher Scully set up on the inside corner, and the pitch missed the spot. Might have got the outside corner, but you're not going to get that call if you miss your location. Try to get me over strike and miss down and in. A 4-pitch walk of Lily Hans has put a 2-out base runner on here for Ankeny. That'll set things up for the shortstop in Grace Rude.
And Lily Hans just very selective in what she's looking at.
I think we are going to have not a runner. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Grace Rude goes back into the dugout. And now we wait with bated breath to see who comes out of the dugout for the Ankeny Hawkettes. This is a pinch hitter brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
It's going to be Maddie Myers.
Maddie Myers into the ball game for Grace Rude. Rude, who pinch hit for Rude, and Rude flew out to third base to lead off inning number 3. So only the one at bat there, but that's something in Coach Bingham's mind says, hey, we got to make a change here and see if we can capitalize on the 2-out walk. Addison Myers into the ball game, and she watches strike 1 go by. So Myers on the season, just a .250 hitter. She did hit against Valley in the doubleheader, just had the one at bat, went 0 for 1. She's only driven in 3 runs, but boy, if they come on some big swings, the few hits she's got a double and a home run. There's a ground ball, diving stop by Rose, flip to second base where Heller puts out the lead runner, Hans. What a play, middle of the infield for the 3rd out of the inning. As Ankeny strikes with a home run, but the defensive Valley gets out of the inning. We'll see a look at this replay heading into the break. Great diving stop, flip to Heller, just in time for the 3rd out of the inning. More great softball like that coming up after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Say our thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the 2024 Girls State Softball Tournament as sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. The Farm Bureau recognizes athletic and academic achievement on the diamond and in the classroom, helping to nurture Iowa's future leaders. Again, thanks to Iowa Farm Bureau sponsoring the state softball tournament. With Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you, Audrey Heller leads off the bottom half of the 4th inning for the Tigers, who lead it by a score of 4-1, a winner to tomorrow's championship game. And this one is smoked down the left field line. Might stay in play over toward the fence. Boy, that hit off the top of the fence. Fisher was there, but just ran out of room.
Yeah, Audrey Heller, this at bat, 2 towering foul balls. She is way out ahead of it right now.
You know that if she can time it up better. Well, might not stay in the yard after all. 0-2 here to Heller. As Rusher delivers. That one's bounced fair down the left field line. Audrey Heller
really good at
first. Stays there.
Audrey Heller there, like I said, just way ahead of those first two foul balls, pulling it down the line. That one timed it up just a little bit better, gets the base hit right down the line. Couldn't ask for anything more out of Audrey Heller.
And as you mentioned, a really good at bat. You fight off pitch until you finally get one that you can drive and get on base with. Leadoff hit here for Audrey Heller 2 times on. And now it's Alexa Stevermer grounded out to short in her last at bat in the bottom of the second. Takes a pitch up after show and bunt. Stevermer's at bat actually was the last at bat before he went into the rain delay. That ended the bottom of the second inning, and then the lightning delay, I should say, started things at the top of the third, and then it started pouring on us. 1-0, and Stevermer drops a beautiful bunt up the third base line, played by Miller, and the throw to first is in time for out number 1, but it gets Audrey Heller to second, and the Tigers are in scoring position again.
And Stevermer's bunt there, I mean, that was a play earlier in this game that Ankeny did make an error on, so I like the decision there going back to it, but well played there by Kaylin Miller at third base. Keep her composure, make the nice throw over to first.
And that's a good recovery by Miller because she was the one who made the throwing error there and allowed the first run of the game to come around and score. Here's Emma Scully, the catcher. She takes high. Scully, who struck out on 6 pitches in her at bat to lead off the third inning, but it didn't have too much of a bearing on the rest of the inning as the Tigers were able to score 3 runs on 4 hits anyway. Here's the 1-0. That's a changeup, grounded to third. Miller, long throw, got her again. Nice defensive play by Kaylin Miller for the second out. And on the top of the order comes up in Ireland Broderick.
Kaylin Miller, back-to-back great plays, really has made a nice recovery at third base, holding it down over there. And that was huge. Now you have 2 outs going into the top of the order rather than runners at first and second.
And after bunting Heller to second, she had to hold. She couldn't get to third with Miller standing on the bag. So save another 60 feet, might make it a challenge to score on a hit here. Swing and a miss by Broderick. Broderick, who started the big 3-run third with her double into left field. That was ended up being the second run of the game as she came around to score later on the base hit by Carrie Rose. 0-1 counter to Broderick. Pitch. That's just offside. 1-1. Well, now it has turned into a beautiful day here in Fort Dodge. Sun is shining. A little cloud cover, but not a whole lot. Just a beautiful day after it got started on a rocky note, but we hopefully can have a nice day the rest of the way.
And Broderick there back-to-back, huge swings on the ball. Can't blame her. She's 2 for 2 on the day at the top of the Valley order.
Yeah, I'd be swinging hard too if I'd been swinging the bat like she has. 2 runs scored as well, so she's making it happen on the bases. 1-2 to Broderick. And a line drive to second. Played on the hop by Hans, and the flip to first in time. Retires Broderick for the first time today. Leadoff hit is left off the scoreboard. Nice job by Ankeny to get out of it. 4-1 Tigers from the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
fans, level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. Alongside Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you as we get going with the top half of inning number 5. The Ankeny Hawkettes broke through on the scoreboard in their last turn at the plate. Abby Rusher deposited one over the fence in left field to get on the board. They started the process. They kept the leadoff hit from scoring in the bottom of the 4th inning, and now as we get down to potentially the final time through the 9 hitters in the order, you start to wonder, can you get the job done in crunch time here? Can Ankeny do enough to tie this ball game or maybe even take the lead? First pitch strike to Fisher.
Valley in a slap defense here. You have second baseman Carrie Rose playing right next to Stevermer. Left side's playing pretty normal, but center field also shifted over to left center.
Slap foul. And it was Fisher actually reaching on a base hit against the slap defense. She put it right in front of the left and center fielder. As again, you mentioned, now the left fielder, Moeller, is much more shallow than she was the last time up. So that's the adjustment there. It's the 0-2, and Fisher swings through it and misses for strike 3. Yeah, there were a lot less gaps to that left side, and Fisher just couldn't make contact anyway.
I have to think that's pretty tough when the defense is shifting to exactly where you want to hit it.
Come on, guys. I wanted to get on base. One out here in the 5th, and now we'll turn things over to the top. Here's Avery Nelson, and she's trying to slap it, takes a pitch up. Well, Nelson got on a walk in the 1st, flew out to short in inning number 3. And now she's trying to get something started, see if Ankeny can just continue to keep chipping away at the deficit. Slaps it foul right off the Valley dugout.
Avery Nelson, potential for a little bit more power than Morgan Fisher at the bottom of the lineup. So the Valley defense plays Avery Nelson a little more true to the second base, is a little bit deeper. Left side's playing normal. So it's interesting that just the different approach to the different slappers.
I love the strategy. We talked about it in the pregame with both these coaches. They are so veteran. They know what they're doing. The chess match is fun to watch in this as well as Nelson falls behind 1-2.
And a hard swing there by Nelson on the slap.
1-2. Counter to Avery Nelson. The pitch just outside. Valley wanted it, but got to be a little closer to try and get that call. Even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stevermer delivers. It's fouled again. And again, we just see both teams are doing a great job fighting off pitches and staying alive, and it has led to some really strong at-bats and strong hits in this game.
Some really deep counts.
Yes.
We're not seeing many batters come up swinging right away. They're utilizing the smaller zone, going into deep counts.
This one's floated out to center. Going to be a tough play. In on the run to make a basket catch is Ireland Broderick for the second out of the inning. Now here comes the third baseman, Kaylin Miller. Nice hustle by Broderick. Had to bend down to get that ball and still made a nice catch on the run. Miller, 1 for 2, base hit. 2 outs in inning number 3, but the Hawkettes could not take advantage of those 2 runners in scoring position. And she hits one in the air. Shallow center. Broderick in on the run again. This time she goes to a slide, juggles, doesn't make the catch. It falls out of her glove. And it'll be a 2-out hit for Kaylin Miller, her second hit of the ball game, and Ankeny still has life.
And what a hustle by Ireland Broderick coming in from center field, almost making that sliding grab. The Minnesota State commit out there is hustling, but Kaylin Miller, 2 hits on the day for Ankeny.
That's 2 of 4 hits recorded by Kaylin Miller. 4 hits total for the Hawkettes at the plate. It's Aubrey Lensmeyer now. She takes down.
In this middle part of the order, Lensmeyer and Tomlinson would love nothing more to go back-to-back hits here. They've stayed very quiet so far at the plate.
Yeah, Stevermer has thrown 4 strikeouts. 3 of them have been to Lensmeyer and Tomlinson. 3 and 4 hitters. That one's down the pipe. It's 1-1. Winner of this game will play in the 5A championship tomorrow. They'll take on the winner of the next game on this field, which is Urbandale and Pleasant Valley. 1-1 pitch, foul back. Do also want to put out there, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union did tweet out that games are just going to be on a rolling schedule today. They will not start earlier than the anticipated scheduled time, but it sounds like all diamonds are going to be game over, let's go, game over, go. So they're going to try and keep things moving as much as they can. This one's knocked down by the pitcher. Tough play. Heller, bare hand throw, not in time.
Wow.
What a recovery by Marin Heller, but better hustle by Lensmeyer. Beats out the infield hit, and the Hawkettes have 2 on with 2 out.
There's so much you could talk about in that play. Marin Heller, absolutely outstanding job. You'll see her. The ricochet off the pitcher goes to Heller. Check out this stretch by Claire Long.
Oh, my goodness.
Full splits.
Full splits.
Full splits.
Some flexibility I only dream of having there at first base.
Regardless, it's the hustle from Lensmeyer that beats it out.
Well, and, I mean, the ability, too, of Marin Heller, how off balance she was to make a strong, accurate throw. But it's all for naught. It's an infield hit. And now Tom Bakey, head coach of West Des Moines Valley, wanting to talk things over in the circle with his infield and make sure those 2 hits are the only thing the Hawkettes can get here as the cleanup spot, Ava Tomlinson, comes up. Dave Bingham is fired up in the third base coaching box. He was doing some jumps over there, trying to get the nerves and jitters out. It's a big at-bat. Tying runs at the dish here in the 5th. Swing and a miss.
Big swing there by Tomlinson. Big thing for Ava Tomlinson right now is not go after that outside pitch. She has a big swing that pulls that front shoulder out just a little bit. She needs to be looking for something a little more over the plate.
Stevermer checks in. Here's the 0-1. Just outside. And not missing by much. That's how you have to be with Tomlinson. You got to keep it close, keep her honest, and maybe you get a swing and miss. 2 strikeouts on the day for Tomlinson. 1 on a full count, the other on a couple of fouls off on a 2-2 count. Both at-bats went 6 or more pitches. Swing and a miss. 1-2, and now they throw behind Kaylin Miller, and she's going to get to third. A delayed steal by Miller. She swipes the bag with the throw, going behind her at second.
Very smart base running there by Kaylin Miller. Catches Scully sleeping just a little bit.
So now you got runners on the corners, and Ankeny might just send Lensmeyer over to second as well.
This doesn't change too much if you're Valley. I mean, approach of first and second versus first and third, same approach with 2 outs. For Ankeny, though, an opportunity for a run.
Pitch is lined right back to Stevermer, who made it look easy for the 3rd out of the inning. She gets out of a 2-out mess, keeps the Hawkettes off the board in the 5th. 4.5 complete. It is time to stretch. Tigers on top by 3 at the state softball tournament on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau with Allie Capper All Big 12 selection at Iowa State. Daniel Versteeg with you, heading to the bottom of the fifth. It's West Des Moines Valley on top by 3. The 3-run third has put the Tigers, has been the difference at this point right now. Each team had 1 run in an inning, and Valley's 3 runs have held up as Carrie Rose leads off the fifth. She takes high. You got 2, 3, and 4 up here for the Tigers. Carrie Rose, Marin Heller, and Claire Long due up for the Tigers. This part of the order has been dangerous. It's recorded 2 hits, 2 runs, and a run batted in. So Rose thought about a drag bunt, but takes outside. It's 2-0.
And Rose's last at bat absolutely nailed that ball into left field, causing the air, allowing her to advance to second. So she is seeing the ball very well right now.
That's on the outside corner. Good start, or a good strike there from Rusher. And that base hit came after a couple foul offs, and Rose was able to finally get one down to drive in Broderick. That was the second run of the game and the first of that 3-run third. This one's up, 3-1. And now, if you're Ankeny, you're starting to build momentum at the plate. You don't want to lose it in the field and let the Tigers start pulling away again. 3-1. Pop-up foul. Counts full.
It's crazy, just both teams working into really deep counts.
Yes.
This game, it feels. These pitchers have thrown a ton of pitches. I know we don't have a pitch count going on either pitcher, but both of them have thrown a lot of pitches.
And my very amateur trying to keep track of pitches. Here's a pop-up flare down the left field line. It's dropping. Base hit for Carrie Rose. And Valley is on. Ankeny kind of had trouble with it in the outfield, and Rose just stays put. A leadoff hit, her second hit of the game, and the Tigers are in business.
And Coach Bakey, not one to usually get too animated over there at third base, really wanted Carrie Rose taking second base on that fumble in left field.
To your point, I've been trying to keep track of pitches. Might be a little off, but I've got about 90 pitches for Stevermer through 5. And now over 80 for Rusher here through 4 complete. So it shows a bunt. Pitch is a strike. Going to second and stealing it is Carrie Rose. And the Tigers get into scoring position right away on a stolen base by Rose.
I have to think that was intentional there. I really don't think you're going to have Marin Heller bunting in this situation. So get the runner advanced over to second by faking the bunt. Now let her hit.
And Marin Heller is going to play softball at Florida State. She's only a junior. It's the 0-1. Now she does show a bunt again and takes down.
Interesting.
Yeah. It shows nobody is above the sacrifice. Even a player who was looked at by one of the top
There's a ball out
college
in right
programs. Oh, yeah, there is a ball. Not sure where that one came from, but they've got that tracked down. They're talking about Heller. I mean, she got looked at by everybody. She went down to LSU, obviously Florida State, even Oklahoma. You know how good Oklahoma is, obviously. Iowa State's seen that the last few years, and boy, Oklahoma, you get looked at there to play softball. That's a pretty big deal. This is a bunt up the first baseline. Nobody covered it. The second baseman, Hans, didn't get over in time, and both Lensmeyer and Rusher went to field the bunt, and it's an infield hit for Heller. Runners are on the corners as we take a look at it.
And this, what should be a sacrifice bunt, as you mentioned, just turns into a base hit. So runners on the corner here, no outs. Valley now an opportunity to really break this thing open with power at the plate.
Yeah, you saw Hans. She was kind of caught in between. Do I go to second? Do I go to first? And that allowed enough time for Marin Heller to reach. So nobody out. Runners are on the corners. And here's Claire Long. Heller goes. Pitches a ball. No chance of a throw. Second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth.
And over on the other field right now, Carlisle leads 3-2 through 4 innings.
Oh,
so
boy.
A lot of small ball being played over there, and that game's moving pretty fast.
It is. Carlisle's, I think, the 7 seed there. So that's, boy, it's been we're obviously paying attention to 5A here. in which we saw not a team not in the top 15 make it to state in Cedar Rapids Prairie. But all the other classes, we've got 7 seeds, we've got 6 seeds, we've got big upsets happening, and it just goes to show how competitive Iowa high school softball is.
Really no clear front runners this year. And,
no.
I mean, those are the most fun years to
watch.
If you're going into a state tournament and you know exactly who's going to win each class, it makes for a boring week.
Right.
So this week so far has been anything but boring with these teams competing.
And I think the last time we had a real true, at least in 5A anyway, a real true front runner was probably the year it was Fort Dodge, and even they ended up losing to Northwest in 2022. Fort Dodge's championship in 2021 might be pretty close as well. There's Claire Long, and a strike taken to even the count.
Claire Long right now looking for a little bit of redemption. She's had 2 pop-ups to the middle infield so far this game. A bat that has a ton of power to it.
Yeah, she's got a chance to really grow the Tiger lead here. Popped up on the infield again. Harmless fly ball right to Abby Rusher. Puts it in her back pocket for out number 1. Boy, that's a massive first out of the inning to retire Claire Long. And now it's Mackenzie Moeller. But again, you get rid of one to face another ringer.
And still only 1 out here. Ankeny, yes. Clearly they're a well-used timeout to all come together, regroup the defense, get the quick out there. Very dangerous hitter here.
Moeller, who has now reached with 4 hits and 6 at-bats at the state softball tournament. Went 3 for 4 Monday with 2 doubles and a homer and a base hit, 2 runs batted in the third here. This one is hammered to left field, and you can forget about it. Mackenzie Moeller exits stage left, her second home run of the state softball tournament to put the Tigers up 6.
That ball just absolutely smoked. I mean, that was a no-doubter. Sometimes from our angle you can't really tell, but that ball was smoked into left field.
Yeah, you can say that again, a no-doubter. Everybody knew that one was gone right off the bat of Mackenzie Moeller as she leaves the yard. Somebody makes a great catch out there in left. They've got an outstanding souvenir for Mackenzie Moeller, who has put herself firmly into discussion for captain of the all-tournament team here this year.
No doubt about that.
She is now 5 for 7, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and then you add her RBIs together, and my goodness, Mackenzie Moeller has driven in 9 runs here in a game and a half of the state tournament. Anna Easton trying to follow it up, and she hits one well to left, but it's not going to get far enough. It's Fisher camping under that one and putting it away for out number 2.
Easton there trying to follow that up. That's a tough thing to follow.
She tried her best.
Yeah, not a bad hit, but very well played by Fisher out and left.
So, wow, what a week Mackenzie Moeller's had so far, and it might just be getting started, too. Of course, this puts Valley firmly in the driver's seat now. This one, is that a screwball kind of thing to Audrey Heller? It's 0-1. That one had arm side run there.
Yeah, you have the off-speed spin there that Abby Rusher is able to get.
It's popped up, shallow left center, and this time it's Avery Nelson who calls off Ava Fisher for out number 3. But West Des Moines Valley has another 3 spot. This comes off the bat of Mackenzie Moeller. Go figure with the week she's having. 7-1 Tigers on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Slate's the place for you!
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, Big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Now, the Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities, and that's why they're proud to title sponsor the Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing girls state softball tournament. They believe that by investing in our youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. Alongside Allie Kappert, I'm Daniel Versteg. As West Des Moines Valley, the Tigers, the number 1 seed, they are flexing their muscles, showing why they have come in as a number 1 seed, leading the Ankeny Hawkettes 7-1. Mackenzie Moeller with her 11th home run of the season, her 2nd of the state tournament. Let's put the Tigers up 6. This a hot shot to the right side, and Abby Rusher has a base hit to lead off inning number 6, and that's the way to get yourself started. You can't score 6 without getting on base.
And I tell you what, if it's coming hot off the bat right now, it's Abby Rusher.
Yes.
For Ankeny. She came to play. I mean, both in the circle and at the plate. She has come to play this week. She's been really just fun to watch.
And it looks like we got a courtesy runner as well at first.
That'll be Lauren Fisher.
Lauren Fisher, yep. All right. So Lauren Fisher takes over for Abby Rusher. She is a pinch runner, brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. So Lauren Fisher takes over, and this first pitch is skied down the right field line off the bat of Leinen. It drops foul. The count's 0-1.
Leinen has gone to the left side twice so far in this game. That time showing a little bit of muscle out into right field.
Yeah, maybe try and take the ball the other way for a change. That's always a good way to kind of change things up. It's the 0-1 to Leinen. That's just down and away. Not by much. Counts 1-1. So Ankeny finds themselves at a hole with just 6 outs to play with. Don't have a whole lot of margin for error now. The 1-1. That's up. 2-1. Man, we are just painting around the zone, and Stevermer just can't quite find it.
For Ankeny right now, they really need the bottom half of this lineup to produce a couple runs this inning to get it within reach for the 7th.
2-1. That one's bounced to the right side. Gobbled up at second by Rose. Trying to get the
play.
lead runner. They got her. Return throw to first. Bounces wide. It will stay in play. What a play by Rose and Maren Heller to get the lead runner.
Those middle infielders for Valley are so impressive. I mean, that's a play that you have the force at second. 90% of middle infielders on that are just going to get the out at first. Instead, she gets a plant foot down, essentially, gets it over to Heller, who almost turns a double play on something that looked like it was just going to go to first base to begin with.
Pulled foul on the first pitch to Lily Hans. Yeah, Kara Rose just said, I'm just going to give it a chance. And boy, did she make a strong throw. She had knocked it down, stuck with it. Still got a ton of muscle on that throw for the first out of the inning. Hans reached on a 4-pitch walk in inning number 4. And now she comes up to bat here. Hawkettes down 6, and she takes a off-speed pitch at the knees, 0-2.
Something of note as well, those Valley middle infielders, Carrie Rose only a sophomore, Maren Heller obviously a junior, so that duo could be back next year as well. They're fun to watch.
Watch out, Class 5A. That's not a duo I want to see again, but unfortunately for opponents, they are going to be around still. 1-2 here to Lily Hans. We got some really nice young talent in Class 5A here the next couple of years. Oh, it's down 2-2. Got Leinen at first base after the fielder's choice. Abby Rusher led off the inning with a base hit. Nothing has come of it so far, and Abby Rusher's home run, the only mark on the scoreboard for the Ankeny Hawkettes. 2-2, Stevermer. Ground ball to second. They get the tag play, throw to first. That won't be in time, so another fielder's choice. as Carrie Rose applies the tag to get Autumn Linen for the second out. And now we'll turn things over to the shortstop, Grace Rude. It's just a revolving door over there at first base. Keep changing base runners with fielders' choices.
And Ankeny still, they're just struggling to get those runners over. You hit it to the middle infield, you're not going to advance the runner. And, Ankeny has 6 hits. Only 1 run, but 6 hits on the day, just struggling to string them together right now.
Yeah, it's very tough to get 6 hits, only score a run. This one's fouled back 1-1. And the fact that that run was on a home run as well, it wasn't manufactured by a couple of hits. And then only the 2 walks to help things out as well. It has been really tough at the plate for Ankeny. Tie, 2-1. You just can't.
As a pitcher, it makes your job so much easier when you don't have to be worried about giving up the solo shot. And that's how Steve Ramirez is pitching right now. You want to hit a solo shot, that's fine, because my middle infielders aren't going to let any runners advance from first to second.
2-1. Ground ball. That's a high hop. Audrey Heller throws to first. And the inning comes to an end. Nice job by the infield for Valley. Keeps that leadoff hit stranded. Played 5.5. The Tigers on top by 6 here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
With Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. West Des Moines Valley, the number 1 seed, Class 5A. They lead the Ankeny Hawkettes by a score of 7-1. We do have a defensive change to bring to you as well. It is Autumn Linen taking over at second base. That is to replace Lily Hans. It's a quick defensive change and an IMT insurance substitution as Alexis Stevermeyer leads things off at the bottom of the 6th inning. 8-9-1 for the Valley Tigers, and it might be just the last time that Valley comes up to bat against Abby Rusher. It's out of play. A big bang on the bleacher. Someone missed the catch. That's what that says. I always say, you got to bring your glove.
No one does anymore.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Counts 0-2 here to Stevermer, or from Stevermer. This one's lined to left center field and over there to make the catch. Save a Fisher, and that is out number 1. Morgan Fisher, excuse me. Morgan Fisher with out number 1, and now it's the designated player, catcher, in Emma Scully.
Scully ground out to third base last time, so she is looking for her first hit of the game, which is rare in this Valley lineup. So
yeah, you got a handful that have not had a hit, but now also have a quick conference. Tom Bakey, I think, probably sensing, Scully has not had a good go of things at the plate, and so just give her a quick back talk and see if she can get back on the right track. If there's anybody I would love to be taking notes and lessons from as a softball player, it's Tom Bakey.
And Scully, very good hitter at the bottom of this lineup. She's hitting .264 on the year, does have a home run.
Right.
So can hit with some power. So she's just looking for that first hit of the game and what would be the 10th Valley hit of this matchup.
7 runs on top of it. We talked about Ankeny has not been able to take advantage of their opportunities with 6 hits, just a run on the board. West Des Moines Valley has really taken advantage of their opportunities. Scully starts things off, taking a ball, as Abby Rusher rocks and deals the 1-0. There's a strike. That evens the count. And we encourage you to stick around all throughout the day. It is all state semifinals today. We are punching tickets to the championship game. No better day for that here on the girls' digital network. 1-1 to Scully. That's a strike. And head of the count is Abby Rusher. A good time to do it as the top of the order is looming large. And well, it's going to take a big 7th inning for the Hawkettes, but you don't want to make it bigger. That's for sure. 1-2. Check swing. Did she go? No, she didn't. 2-2.
And Rusher just sticking with her game plan here. Team down 6 runs. She's still working with a good pace. She still has that confidence in the circle. She's throwing well this inning.
Much better than maybe that 5th inning. You allowed a couple two leadoff hits, a home run, a mammoth shot. This one's popped up on the infield. It's the new second baseman, Autumn Linen, back behind the circle. He tracks it down for out number 2. What's the saying? The ball will find you. Yeah. Definitely found Autumn Linen there. 2 gone. Ireland Broderick, top of the order up here for the Tigers. This top of the order has been the moneymakers for Valley here today. They are combined. The top third is a combined 6 for 9, 6 runs scored, an RBI, and a double. I'd say that's pretty good.
The top of this Valley lineup, I know 2 outs here, but they're in their mind, they're wanting to plate 4 runs right here, right? Is what they're wanting to do.
Yeah, why not? Try and win it,
Not sure if that's possible, but the mindset of these Valley hitters has just been attack. Just all-out attack at the top of this lineup.
If there's a team that can do it, it's probably Valley. As Broderick starts ahead in the count, it's 3-0. Ireland Broderick, left-handed hitting center fielder. 2 for 3, double, 2 runs. Takes a strike, a little get-me-over strike. For Abby Rusher, it's 3-1. So the Valley Tigers trying to get back to the state championship since the last time they won it, 2019. Here's a deep drive to center. That ball is carrying all the way to the fence, and that one is gone. Ireland Broderick with her 3rd hit of the day, her 2nd extra base hit. It's her first long ball of the year, and it's 8-1 Tigers.
Ireland Broderick over the center field wall. Beautiful swing. I mean, top of the lineup, your leadoff hitter absolutely crushing it. You'll see the replay here. That ball, a no-doubter.
That one ending up on a row or 2 deep in the bleachers. A well-struck ball for Broderick. Her 2nd extra base hit of the ball game. And, of course, extra base hits are brought to you by Channel Seeds. Carrie Rose now swings at one to left center field. That ball with Carrie over to get there to left fielder. And the catch is made by Morgan Fisher for out number 3, avoiding what could have been a big collision with the center fielder Avery Nelson. But Valley scores another, a solo shot for Broderick. And the Hawkettes will have a tall mountain to climb when we come back in the 7th here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Well, we're back to Fort Dodge. It is the last chance for the Ankeny Hawkettes to try and make it to tomorrow's championship game, otherwise West Des Moines Valley. A chance to add to their 7 state championships they have had, the most recent in 2019. With Allie Capper, Daniel Versteg with you. It's going to have to take a big inning. Tigers are up 8-1 over the Hawkettes. Got 9-1 and 2 coming up for Ankeny. Started off by Morgan Fisher, the left fielder. He's been busy out there in left field, but now trying to reach, and we'll see that funky slap defense for Valley. It just gets more different as the game goes along. First pitch is a ball. I mean, look at where Ireland Broderick is. She is in deep left center. She's playing more like a left fielder there.
And it's interesting, too, that they don't bring the right fielder more towards center just a tiny bit. But, yeah, you see something different every single time. But so far Morgan Fisher does have her first at bat. She did single to left center.
Right.
The strikeout last time. But regardless of where you play, there's always going to be a gap.
Some slap to the ground over the first base bag. Race to the bag. It's in time. Claire Long beats out Morgan Fisher. It is the first out of the 7th. So that puts away a pretty tricky hitter with her slapping ability. Now the top of the order, Avery Nelson comes up. Nelson with a walk in the first, and a couple of flyouts followed. As Ankeny trails this one by 7. They don't want to play for third place, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for a team that went 500 entering the region final. They were 20-20. They stayed in the top 15 in the state. Of course, the Girls High School Athletic Union are recognizing that, this team plays a tough schedule in the CIML. Had to play a CIML rival for the region championship in Southeast Polk. We'll get that one 6-2 and get here to state with a just barely above 500 record. Nelson, fly ball to the left. That has carry all the way to the fence, and that ball's up against the top of the wall. Nelson to second. She's on with a 1-out double. And we should not start singing yet. Hawkettes are not done. It's a Channel Seeds extra base hit.
Avery Nelson with her 3rd hit of the state tournament. The double, by far her strongest hit of the tournament so far. So fun to watch. Avery Nelson has had a really strong couple of days for Ankeny.
Hit that ball right off the top of the fence in left field. A Channel Seeds extra base hit. Kaylin Miller digs in. And the first pitch is upstairs, 1-0. So you get the top of the order on in scoring position, and now you obviously want to score, but you don't want to record a stupid out on the bases, so you don't want to, try and stretch things too much. This is fouled back.
It's one of those things you're just thankful you have speed on the bases
Yes.
right now. Take advantage of it when a ball gets in play. But nothing crazy right now. You're only going on a pass ball.
And you got plenty of stolen bases out there. Avery Nelson with 21, so you got a lot of speed. Obviously, she's not going to be stealing third. At least we don't think anyway, although maybe that's what Ankeny wants us to think. You never know. Comes down and in, 2-1. But with a 7-run advantage, I think, or a 7-run deficit to try and overcome, the last thing you want to do is record an out, especially going to third. 2 balls and a strike here to Miller. This pitch is floated out to short. Marin Heller makes the catch, backpedaling into the grass for out number 2.
She just gets such a good jump on the ball at shortstop. That's a tough read to make when it's coming soft off the bat. As a middle infielder, you aren't sure if you should attack or drop back. She reads it so well.
So the last out, potentially of the winner's side of the bracket for the Ankeny Hawkettes, is Aubrey Lensmeyer. She does not want to be last out, so she's going to fight. She takes a strike to get things started, though. So Aubrey Lensmeyer does have a base hit earlier in this game. That came in inning number 5, another one of those scenarios in which the Hawkettes got 2 on but couldn't score. 0-1. Outside, evens the count. Now the Valley Tigers, 7-time state champs, also a runner-up in 1991. They have been to the state championship game 8 times in school history.
It's a pretty good track record.
Very.
You make it to the state championship 8 times, you win it 7.
Yeah, you can't bet, but if I was a betting man,
Yeah.
I'd like my chances with
Right.
Valley, just based on the history there. 2019, 2010, 08, 07, 05, 03, and 1990. All state championships for Valley. Down to the last strike here, and messing up is Stevermer. Stevermer trying to finish this one off. Only the 1 run allowed. Yes, she has allowed 7 hits, a couple of walks, sure, but she has always been able to get out of trouble. That's due to that outstanding defense. The 2-2. It's fouled back, and we'll do it again.
Lensmeyer once again working deep into a count. University of South Dakota commit. She hits the ball well.
Yeah, she's going to play in a tough Summit League. That usually produces some pretty good softball. South Dakota State's had some good teams as well in that conference, so going to be a good challenge for her. 2-2. Here to Lensmeyer. Check swinging the ball up. Counts full.
Very good hold by Lensmeyer. Work this count to a full count.
Yeah, why not make this one a little bit more interesting? Why not make the Tigers sweat it out a little bit more? Ankeny down to their final strike. Stevermer's pitch. Fouled off again. And, well, it wouldn't be this ball game if we didn't have a 7 or 8 pitch at bat to finish it off.
I mean, all the other ones happened,
Yeah, exactly.
so why not this
why
one?
not? Why not? We've had 8 pitch at bats. This is going to be the 8th pitch of this at bat. Just keeps the energy building for what could be the end of the game. With Nelson at second, Stevermer's payoff is down and in, and this ball game lives on. An 8-pitch walk for Aubrey Lensmeyer, and the Ankeny Hawkettes have 2 on with 2 gone. Ava Tomlinson will be the batter, but I think we are going to get a conference pinch runner. What do we got? We got a couple people looking at the lineup card, and we got a conference with Dave Bingham.
I tell you what, from the start of this game, we're about 3 hours and 15 minutes in. Granted, there was a long delay in there, but we have been focused on this Ankeny Valley matchup now for just over 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, while their bodies might have been shut off throughout the rain delay, their brains certainly weren't.
Exactly.
They were thinking about that game the whole time. That's a long time to be engrossed in a big softball game like this. Tomlinson lines one foul. So Tomlinson now trying to avoid being the last out of this game.
Tomlinson so far 0 for 3 on the day, looking for that first hit and no bigger moment for her.
Better late than never.
Right.
Yeah, might as well do it now. She did hit a comebacker right to Stevermer, which she was able to catch to end the 5th. It was a softly hit line drive, but would have made things a little bit interesting up the middle. 0-1 count to Tomlinson. The pitch. That's fouled toward the same area. Counts 0-2, and again, the Ankeny Hawkettes are down to their final strike. Down 8-1 with 2 on. It's an 0-2 counter to Tomlinson. Stevermer seeing if she can put one away here and send the Tigers to tomorrow. The pitch. Oh, it's too tall. 1-2. Oh, the Tigers are ready to spill out of that dugout. That fence is hardly holding them in anymore. But they're going to have to wait another pitch at least.
Really good pitch there by Stevermer, working the top half of the strike zone. Ava Tomlinson, though, with the great hold to work it to 1-2 count.
Again, making them sweat a little bit more. Here's the 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. And Ankeny just continues to stick around with 2 outs in this game. You wouldn't expect anything else from this year's Ankeny squad.
Talking to Coach Bingham on Monday and then today, this team just has a ton of fight.
Yes.
The numbers might not show it, but the team has a lot of heart and a lot of fight, and they've definitely shown it this week.
Another 2-2. It's fouled again. Boy, we are getting our money's worth here in this 7th inning. Ankeny has spoiled off a host of two-strike pitches. Stay alive, and it allowed Aubrey Lensmeyer to reach on a walk on the previous plate appearance. Can Ava Tomlinson get on here? 2-2. Again, spoiled off the right side. No, you know what this is? We just like you all so much. We just wanted to spend a few more minutes talking to you. Yeah.
The home plate umpire twice this inning has had to go get a new supply of softballs.
Oh, man. You love it. Again, you love the fight. You love the stick-to-itiveness. And the Hawkettes, they're not going down without a fight. Stevermer with another 2-2. This one's hit in the air. Left side, Marin Heller called for it. Mackenzie Moeller calls her off. And the Valley Tigers are heading to the program's 9th state championship game in school history with an 8-1 victory over their conference rivals, the Ankeny Hawkettes.
Overall, just a really well-fought game by Valley. They showed the power at the plate. The highlight, I have to say, that Mac Muller home run was a towering shot out to left field. What a tournament she has had.
Can you do any better than going 2 for 3 with a home run, a run scored, 5 runs batted in, and that was just today. You add her game against Cedar Rapids Prairie yesterday. She is a cool 5 for 7 here at the state tournament. 2 doubles, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. Watch out, Urbandale or Pleasant Valley. That is coming your way tomorrow, and it looks like it will be the Valley Tigers moving themselves on to the state championship game as Ireland Broderick moves their team on in the championship bracket. An 8-1 final score. The Valley Tigers now 38-4 will play for the state championship tomorrow. The Ankeny Hawkettes will play for third with a record of 22-21. And their opponents will be either the Urbandale Jayhawks or the Pleasant Valley Spartans. That is the next game on this field. Obviously, with the rain delay, things are going to keep moving, so we probably won't be too much longer, and we'll have more state tournament softball for you. Until then, for Allie Capper, for our digital network crew, this is Daniel Versteg saying so long. And thanks for watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.